Hi, hello, and welcome back to The Roots. We are continuing to read Beginner's Guide to SriVaishnavam. Don't forget to get your own copy of the book. The details are on the text of the post. This is chapter 21 about Alavandar. Vyasa and Parasara enter Andalpati's home along with their friend Atturai. Andalpati welcomes them with prasadam in her hands. Welcome, Atturai. Here, wash your hands and feet and take this prasadam. Today is Uttradam, the Thirunakshatram of Alavandar. Party, last time you said you will tell us about Yamunai, remember? Yes, I remember, and I'm happy that you too remember and want to know more about the great Acharya. It is his Thirunakshatram today. Quite the right time to talk about his glories. Party, did you not say it was Alavandar's Thirunakshatram? Yes, Yamunai, who was born in Katamannar Kovil, later became popularly known as Alavandar. He was born as a son of Ishwara Muni and grandson of Nadamunigal. He studied under Mahabhashya Bhattar. There is a very interesting story about how he came to be hailed as Alavandar. Those days, Pandits had to pay taxes to the chief Pandit. Akiyarvan, the Rajaprohidar, sends his representatives to all Pandits and asks them to pay taxes to him. Mahabhashya Bhattar becomes worried and Yamunai says that he will take care. He sends a slogam which says, he will destroy the poets who look for cheap publicity. Seeing this, Akiyarvan gets angry and sends his soldiers to bring Yamunai to the king's court. Yamunai tells them that he will come only if he was offered proper respect. So king sends him a palanquin and Yamunai visits the court. While the debate is about to start, the queen tells the king that she is sure that Yamunai will win, and if he loses, she will become a servant of the king. And the king was confident that Akiyarvan will win, and he says if Yamunai wins, he will give half the kingdom to him. Finally, with great valor and knowledge, Yamunai won the debate against Akiyarvan. Akiyarvan becomes so impressed that he too becomes a disciple of Yamunai. The queen gives him the name Alavandar, one who came to protect her. Had he not won, she would have become a servant, and so she too becomes his Sishya. He also gets half the kingdom as promised by the king. Party, if Yamunai got half the kingdom, he must have been ruling the kingdom. How did he get into our Sampradayam? He was brought into our Sampradayam by Manakkal Nambi, who was the disciple of Uyyakondar. According to the instructions of Uyyakondar, Manakkal Nambi took the initiative to bring Alavandar to the Sampradayam. That is exactly right and wonderful, Atturai. How did you know this? Sorry, all this was said by Atturai. And then Atturai says, my mother also tells me stories about our Acharyas and Perumal Patti. Alavandar is the great Acharyan who brought Sri Ramanuja to the Sampradayam with Lord Deva Perumal's blessings. Parasara asks, but Patti, how did Deva Perumal help Alavandar? Patti says, it was in Kanchipuram that Alavandar saw Ilayalvar, who was yet to become Ramanuja, in Varadaraja Perumal temple. Ilayalvar was learning from his guru Yadava Prakasa. Alavandar prayed to Deva Perumal to make Ilayalvar the next leader of the Sampradayam. Thus, it was Deva Perumal who nurtured and raised Ilayalvar like a mother would do to her child, and it was this great Alavandar who showered his blessings on Ilayalvar, who later goes on to do greatest of great Kaingaryams for the Sampradayam. Alavandar also entrusts Tirukachinambi to guide Ilayalvar as needed. Remember Tirukachinambi? Yes, Patti. He is the one who does Tiruvalavatta, that is the fan, Kaingaryam to Deva Perumal, and also talks with Deva Perumal and Tayar. How nice it would be if we could also talk to Perumal like Tirukachinambi. So did Alavandar and Ilayalvar meet? Did Alavandar accept Ilayalvar as Sishya? Unfortunately, no. Before Ilayalvar could come to Srirangam to become Alavandar's disciple, Alavandar left this world and reached Paramapadam. They could not meet each other, but Ilayalvar promised to fulfill Alavandar's wishes. Next time when I meet you kids, I will tell you all about how Periyanambi, one of the many disciples of Alavandar, became Ilayalvar's Acharya and guided him throughout. Alavandar had numerous disciples and all of them worked together to bring Ilayalvar to the Sampradayam. Apart from Periyanambi, பெரிய திருமலை நம்பி, திருக்கோஷ்டியூர் நம்பி, திருமாலை ஆண்டான், மாரநேரி நம்பி, திருக்கச்சி நம்பி, திருவரங்க பெருமாள் அரையர், and many others were Alavandar's Sishyas. Vyasa, Parasara, Nathurai say, it was very interesting party. Next time, please tell us about Periya Nambi and Ilayalvar. I will be very happy to tell, but it's not now going to be dark outside, so go home. The children leave happily to their homes thinking about Alavandar.
This topic tells us about Sri Alavandar. He was one of the important Vaishnavite Acharyans. He was the grandson of Sri Nadamanigal. He was known as Yamanai Thuraivan. When he was a boy, he participated in a contest and he was conferred half of the kingdom by Pandyan king. He started leading royal life, and the disciple of Vuyakondar, Manakal Nambi, he initiated Alavandar into Vaishnavam, and he taught him Bhagavad Gita, Nalayara Divya Prabandham, and he brought him to Srirangam and showed him the valuable treasure. The treasure was Perumal Ranganadhar. Then Alavandar got lost. Then he decided to renounce his royal life and he came to Srirangam and he settled there. So this is how he got into the traditional way of living as a Vaishnavite. He was the one who identified Ramanuja as the next Vaishnavite Acharya. He visited Kanchipuram and with the help of Tirukkachi Nambigal, he identified, he saw him and he decided that Ramanuja to be next Vaishnavite Acharyan, and he informed, he told one of his disciples, Periya Nambi, to make it true. So this is what happened. After the life of Alavandar, Sri Ramanujar was brought from Kanchipuram to Srirangam by Periya Nambi. Sri Alavandar contributed a lot to SriVaishnavam. He wrote Chatusloki, Stotra Ratnam, Sititrayam, and Gita Sangraham, which was the base for Gita Bhashyam written by Sri Ramanuja. Then Agama Pramanam and Mahapurusha Nirnayam. So all these are the base of the books written by the Acharyans in the later period.